Good day. Welcome to today's word. I'm Pastor Victor Hernandez. I believe that in the middle of this pandemic called coronavirus, that as children of God, that we can be people of the word, people of faith, people of prayer, and definitely continue to praise and worship in the midst of this crisis. I have today 4 thoughts that I would like to share from the word of God. And I would like to title today's word Divine Rest. In the book of Matthew, chapter 11, verses 28 to 30, and I'll be reading from the New Living Translation. The Word of God says, Then Jesus said, Come to me, all of you who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you, let me teach you, because I am humble and gentle at heart, and you will find rest in your souls. For my yoke is easy to bear, and the burden that I give you is light. Right now, the world and our nation is dealing with a global pandemic. Many are dealing with situations that they never thought they would be in. Vacations have been canceled, schools are closed, children are at home, many businesses are closed, and some are actually in jeopardy of failing. Many have lost their jobs and have no source of income. And so we're in a crisis. It's not hard to see why people are being stressed out, and many have gone into depression because they're feeling like they cannot handle the weight of this situation. I don't know whether you're carrying the weights of the impact of COVID-19, or you might have other things that are weighing you down. Jesus beckons us to come to him and to make a great exchange. Jesus tells us to bring our weariness, bring our stress and heavy burdens to him. He has offered to exchange them for rest. That's what I call the great exchange. Divine rest is amazing. Don't underestimate the word rest. Godly rest is supernatural. It's learning about God's rest and laying a hold of it by faith. And this will benefit us greatly in this situation that we're in. When we enter into God's rest, we find that we are empowered by God's grace to resist the distressing anxiety of this world. And we get to live in a state that is free from the weight of ungodly burdens and the stress, struggles, and strain that ungodly people continue to bear. When we enter into God's rest, we feel free, we feel light, we feel at peace, and God is very optimistic about our present and our future. This is much needed in the world today. The third thought is, if you want to trade in your stress for God's rest, you have to initiate the transition. God's rest is awesome and it's available to all of us. But check the language that Jesus used in Matthew 11, 28 to 30. It says here, Come to me, all of you who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. So we have to initiate it. We have to give him our burdens. We have to take his yoke. God is not going to force you to be blessed. God will not dominate you. He will not overrule your will. God has offered to us divine rest. He has offered to make an exchange. When you bring your burdens to him, he will give you rest. We have to initiate this transition. If you're not willing to give up your stress, God cannot give you rest. I believe God led me to share this with you today so that you could hear his voice in it. Make the exchange today. Believe me, your life will never be the same. The fourth thought is amazing things happen when you get yoked up with Jesus. Jesus tells us to take my yoke. He says it's easy. You are never designed to do life on your own. You are never designed to do life without God. Get yoked up with Jesus today. His yoke is easy and his burden is light. Once you are connected to him and he is fully connected to you, the stress associated with COVID-19 and any other stress will fall off of you as you enter into God's rest. So today, I encourage you to make this great exchange. Again, I want to close today by reassuring you that God is still God. He is not moved. He was God before this began, and He will still be God after it is over. Trust Him. Again, I encourage you to do all the things that are practical and pragmatic. Shelter in place. Do not go out during the daily hours unless it's to pick up items that are necessary. Remember that there is a curfew in place from 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. Continue to wash your hands, use good hygiene, avoid unnecessary contact, maintain social distancing, do all the things that make sense. Be sure to let us know how you're doing and how we can pray for you. While others are in fear, let's continue to be people of the word, prayer, continue to praise and worship God in the midst of this crisis. God bless you.